The branded scholar. The great Library of Alexandria was the ultimate monument to human arrogance. A sprawling limestone labyrinth designed to hoard every scroll, every thought, and every philosophy the Mediterranean had ever produced. Decades earlier, a weary emissary of Emperor Ashoka had walked through its grand colonnades, carrying the second plate. He did not submit a fragile scroll of papyrus. He handed the Ptolemaic scholars a heavy, non-reflective square of matte green jade, its surface intricately hammered with golden Greek script. The scholars could read the Greek characters, but they could not comprehend the weight of the message. To them, it was merely an exotic curiosity, an object of high physical value but low philosophical interest. Ammonius, the ambitious head archivist of the lower levels, meticulously locked the stone. He placed it deep within the subterranean vaults, surrounded by thousands of delicate papyrus scrolls detailing the commerce and wars of kings. Buried under a mountain of chaotic human noise, the emperor's artifact sat in the dark for over 200 years. In 48 BCE, the noise ended in fire. The legions of Julius Caesar set the Alexandrian harbor ablaze, and the inferno mercilessly spread to the city. The pursuit of knowledge turned into a desperate, suffocating slaughter. Flaming roof timbers collapsed into the archives, turning the underground vaults into inescapable, roaring furnaces. Millions of words, centuries of human ego, were instantly reduced to grey ash. The dense, packed papyrus fueled a fire so intense it cracked the limestone walls. Deep in the lowest vault, an older Ammonius was trapped. Blinded by the thick, acrid smoke, he scrambled through the collapsing shelves, listening to the agonizing sound of his life's work turning to cinders. He realized with terrifying clarity that the papyrus was doomed. Desperate to save the archive's most ancient and physically durable artifact, he reached into the darkest alcove and grabbed the heavy jade plate. As he navigated the labyrinth of collapsing, burning corridors, the ambient heat became catastrophic. The subterranean halls acted like a kill. The intense, oven-like heat superheated the dense stone Ammonius clutched to his chest. As he staggered toward the surface, the temperature of the jade climbed until the raw gold hammered into its surface reached its absolute melting point. The metal liquefied. Driven by primal shock and sheer adrenaline, Ammonius refused to drop the artifact. As he pushed through the final wall of flames, the liquid gold seared directly into his bare palms, boiling his flesh. The intense, choking black smoke violently scorched his eyes, destroying his vision. He finally stumbled out of the collapsing grand entrance and collapsed onto the ash-covered streets of the city, the heavy stone still locked in his ruined, blistering hands. Ammonius survived the fire, but he would never read another scroll. Stripped of his sight and his grand archive, he became a living artifact. The Greek frequency of the second plate was permanently scarred into the flesh of his hands. Leaving the ruined city behind, he retreated to the harsh, quiet isolation of the desert. Without his eyes, he was forced to learn how to navigate the dark by adopting the absolute, unyielding stillness that the stone demanded. In time, people began to seek him out. They revered the blind scholar who had carried the heavy truth through the fire. He taught his followers not to seek wealth, power, or endless knowledge, but to find the quiet anchor within the void. He founded a silent lineage of desert ascetics who protected the bare, goldless jade plate for centuries. They guarded the stone until the world forgot them, waiting patiently until the iron gauntlets of the early Templars finally arrived to tear it from the earth.